everyone, I'm your host of Inside My Mind, Evan Moore, coming at you again with another reaction and a review. Today, we will be reacting and reviewing Cocaine Bear. Now, initially, when I saw this on the Wikipedia page for the movies that were coming out this year, I was like, what the heck is Cocaine Bear? And I did a little deep dive on the Wikipedia page. The events of this story, actually based on a true story. A bear got a hold of some cocaine and ended up ODing and then being taxidermied and put in a museum somewhere with the nickname Pablo Escobar. Oh, goofy. But yeah, we're going to be reacting and reviewing Cocaine Bear today. I did do a trailer reaction to this movie when the trailer first came out, but didn't end up posting it. So I'm going to do it right now. Enjoy.
FedEx!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars
Surprisingly, he doesn't die there.
from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on us.
The bear! It fucking did cocaine! A bear did cocaine!
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was far.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Higher, baby.
Oh, shit.
Get higher, baby.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with a man forever.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of his mind.
I forgot about that.
Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear?
Shoot it, Beth!
Bear, speed up!
Higher, baby. And don't ever come down.
We have such good luck in nature.
Oh my god. So that was Cocaine Bear. Very, very interesting. When I saw the trailer, I got immediately hyped for this. And the day has finally come. Watched this video on opening day. Had to wait late because I had no transportation, but still gonna make this video work. So first time doing this. I had a script. Hopefully I don't be stumbling. But knowing me, I'm gonna have to do some editing. Okay, so the movie opens up with Thornton. Is that his name? Yes. Got the character list right here. No, you can't see because of the light and it will not focus, but the movie opens up with Thornton throwing cocaine off of a plane, which... Why? Why are you throwing cocaine off of the plane? You already have the cocaine in the plane. Just fly it to your destination. But he's throwing it off and he's going to parachute down with the cocaine, but he ends up hitting his head and falling to his death. And then the movie puts some text on the screen talking about black bears. It basically says that black bears don't harm humans, but when they do, fight back. And then it says source Wikipedia. That was funny. But we end up meeting Olaf and Elsa. Their names are actually Olaf and I didn't even realize when I was watching the movie, when I was doing the character chart, their names are Elsa and Olaf. They're talking about their wedding. And they stumble upon the cocaine bear. And they're like, oh my God, look at that bear. He's so cute. Oh, they're spying on it with the camera and taking pictures, and the bear's looking at him. And they're like, what are you looking at? So he goes over there. She goes over there. And she like teleports over there. I guarantee they would have saw that bear moving towards them, but she teleports over there and they're like, oh God, we should run. Well, hold on. First of all, Olaf is like, oh, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, stay down. And Elsa was like, how do we know if it's black or brown? Just look at the bear. But they end up running, which I don't have a quirky name for the bear. I was going to make one, and I was thinking about it in the theater, but I couldn't come up with any little quirky name for the bear. But just going to call it the cocaine bear. So the cocaine bear ends up chasing after Olaf and Elsa, and they... Is it Olaf that trips or Elsa? One of them trips. But the cocaine bear ends up catching up to them and killing Elsa and tossing her leg. And Olaf sees and he's like, ah! I mean, understandably. And then he dips. And then the cocaine bear gets distracted by a butterfly. So now we go with Bob. He is our lead detective trying to find Eddie, Devine, Sid, and Thornton, which, I mean, Thornton's right there, dead, because he hit the floor. So that piece is just really introducing Bob and Officer Rebecca to us. They're two, one of them's an officer, one of them's a lead detective, trying to look for these criminals, and basically gives you a rundown of who Eddie, Devine, and Sid are. Devine ends up meeting with Sid, basically giving them a rundown of where the cocaine is, which is on Blood Mountain, and he really needs that cocaine. And Sid tasks Devine to go get Eddie, which, I mean, he's crying about, is it his wife or his brother? I'm not sure. And the later scene when Devine goes to get Eddie, he has this tattoo on his chest, and they wrote the name wrong. They wrote John instead of. Let me go ahead and help you out, my brother. So the proper name that was supposed to be on his chest was Joan, not John. But yeah, they wrote the wrong name on his chest. But now Eddie and Devine are heading to go get the cocaine from Blood Mountain for Sid. Let me go ahead and just pause myself here real quick. Her name is Mrs. McKendry. I call her Sorry because that's her first name. So when I say sorry, just know I'm talking about Mrs. McKendry. So then they introduce us to Sorry and Dee Dee, which they are a mother and daughter. Sorry being the mom and Dee Dee being the daughter. Dee Dee wants to go with her mom to paint the mountains, but Sorry ended up picking up some extra shifts. And Dee Dee's like, oh, I know why you want to get those extra shifts, because you want some overtime with your boyfriend. And Sorry's like, gross, but yes. Nah, she doesn't say yes, but you know. So, new character gets introduced, Henry, which is Dee Dee's friend from school. They end up skipping school to go paint the mountains, and they go into the woods and find a brick of cocaine. They cut that sucker open, and they're like, how much are we supposed to take? Why does Henry say, I don't know, a tablespoon? A tablespoon, and they do, bro. They take the whole knife of coke and put it in their mouth, and he's like, "Puh, puh, what the? Oh, this is gross." Of course, you're little kids, and you shouldn't be doing cocaine. Don't do drugs, kids. I'm surprised they didn't OD for how small their bodies are, but I know nothing about cocaine, so. But they end up getting attacked by the cocaine bear. Not even attacked. Jesus, she sneezes in their face, and it scares them, and they run off. I mean, understandably, there's a coked up bear in front of you, so I would dip too. Henry ends up climbing a tree, and Dee Dee dips, bro. She is just so far away, and I'm like, why did you run so far? And she's leaving paint trails for her mom and Henry to find. But Sari ends up getting a phone call from their school that they skipped, and now she's looking for them in the woods. He ends up meeting with Ranger Liz and Peter, two characters that I didn't really introduce. They were getting robbed by kids, and the kids ended up swindling Lisa, talking about her perfume, her urban perfume that she has on. Did she say urban, or she said something else? I think she said something else. But Peter and Liz end up helping Sari to go find Dee Dee and Henry. So now they're off trying to find the kids. The kids that I mentioned that were doing some stealing, they end up pulling up on Devine and try to rob him. Devine handles them with ease, knocks out 3 of them. Bruh. But one of the kids has a brick of cocaine on him, and they end up waking him up to find where the rest of the cocaine is, and the kid ends up taking them to go find it because they stashed it in a gazebo. The kids who are doing the mugging, they're not kids, but they're teens, so you get what I mean when I say kids. I'll say teen from now on. So now, Sari, Peter, and Liz, they end up finding Henry stuck in a tree. And Henry's like, "Oh, we got attacked by a bear. The bear's I don't know why he wanted to say the bear's on cocaine." So they try to get him to come down from the tree, but he's not budging. I wouldn't. There's a coked up bear on the floor. But Peter and Liz end up getting attacked by the bear, and Liz gets bit in the butt cheek by the bear, and she's hobbling. I'm gonna go find some help. And Peter goes to climb a tree, and he's like, Henry's like, bears can't climb trees. We're safe. Peter's like, of course they can. And Henry's like, why are you up here? And then the bear starts to climb the tree after them, and I guess she smells the coke on Peter, so she switches, goes for Peter, and starts mauling him up in that tree, bruh. And then Sari and Henry end up dipping, and Peter falls out of the tree neck first, and then the bear comes after him. But he's dead. He's dead. If it wasn't the mauling that killed him, it was definitely the fall on his neck that killed him. But the bear ends up mauling him and then doing a line of cocaine off his leg. I'm like, oh, that's funny. There, in that scene, there was this jump scare that is not even a jump scare. If you watch the trailer, you'll know it happens, and if you listen to the music, of course, you know a jump scare is about to happen. But there was this girl when I was in the theater. She had her legs like on the back of my chair. I didn't really mind because, she wasn't kicking my chair or anything, but I could, feel the pressure of her leg on the back of my chair. But when when the bear slammed her hand on the tree, I could feel her leg on the back of my chair go, and the rest of the theater just jumped, and I was the only one laughing. I'm like, did y'all not watch the trailer? But now Sari and Henry are going to find Dee Dee because she left a paint trail for them. So they're off doing that. This goes back to the little office, the little ranger office, to go call for help. And the two kids that got knocked out, they woke up and, they're all bandaged and stuff because Devine whooped their tail. And Lisa's telling the kids about the bear, but she doesn't specifically say a bear. And she's like, yeah, he bit me on my ass. And the kids are like, the heck wrong with this guy? Thinking she's talking about Devine. That was funny. That was funny. But they open the door and the bear is sitting right there. And one of the kids turns and he's like, that's a bear. Bam! And I was like, what the Liz blew that kid's brain back, bruh. Headshot, big old crater. So he's dead. They close the door. They close the bear out. The gunshot scares the bear away. Now she's circling the office, and they're looking for her. And Liz is like, "Okay, I got this." Oh, she's in the fireplace. Nope, I'm at the front door. And she reaches her hand through the glass door and grabs the other kid by the face and ends up, taking him into the, this is off screen, by the way, but taking him into the little storage closet and mauling him to death. Actually a decapitation. So now, Bob is on the scene. Yes, he drove all the way to where that stuff is happening. Georgia, I think, does a little bit of jumping. I think it happens in Georgia. But he drove all that way just to go arrest these three criminals, which crazy. They're just selling coke. But he ends up pulling up to the office, and somebody slams their hand on the window. It has to be Liz. She has to have slammed her hand on that thing because the other two, they're dead. So yeah, it was her. But Bob doesn't see it, and he starts going. I don't even know how he knows where this dang gazebo is, but he beats them to the gazebo, finds the coke. He said the coke is stashed on top of the gazebo. So he got up in a tree and jumped off the tree on top of the gazebo to get the bag of coke. And he was like, I pulled my hip. It's kind of hard for me to get down. I think the kid who's leading them to the gazebo, his name is Vess. They have some stupid names on IMDb. One of them is literally credited as Kid. The other one's credited as Ponytail. And then the kid who's leading them to there is credited as Vest. So I'm just going to call him Vest. Vest, Devine, and Eddie are finally get to this gazebo. Of course, Bob's there. And he's like, oh, everybody put their hands up. And drop the weapon. Devine ends up dropping his weapon, but going for it later and getting his fingers blasted off. Which fingers was it? He gets this one and this one. And Vest even makes a comment. He's like, how did those fingers get blown off? They're nowhere even close to each other. That was funny. That's how I know this movie isn't taking itself seriously. And I really appreciate that. But they have their whole thing trying to get the coke from Bob, and the cocaine bear ends up pulling up. And, she's checking out what's going on in the gazebo. And she's like, I'm real tired. I've been running around killing people, snorting coke. She lays on top of Eddie and is just there for a minute. Eventually, the bear gets up off of Eddie and they, get her out of here with a brick of coke. Bob literally throws a brick of coke. Um, Before this happened, I forgot to mention this. I may switch this around, but before this happened, there's a scene with Liz and these two paramedics, Beth and Tom. Beth and Tom were called on the scene. I think Liz called them. And, they get there, they see all the carnage. Beth is tending to Liz. Tom opens up the door and sees a cocaine bear, and he's like, I'm going to close that. Beth, we should go. And the bear bursts up out of there on top of Tom. Tom ends up grabbing this duffel bag of medical supplies and smacking her with it and then throwing it to the side. And the bear obviously thinks that there's cocaine in that duffel bag, so she goes over there to go get it. Beth left. She dipped with Liz, put her on a gurney, and got her up. Was about to leave Tom. Tom ends up getting in the car, barely. And the cocaine bear realizes that there's no cocaine in that bag, so she ends up chasing them. And gets in the car and just starts going to town on Tom. And then, oh my God, this is so gnarly. Liz gets thrown out of the car. And she's strapped to this gurney, and they're going fast, and her face just on the pavement. She's gone. Tom is getting mauled, and Beth gets distracted and crashes the car into a tree. She goes flying out the windshield. Tom, just mangled mess. The bear survives. And then goes to mess with Eddie and Devine and Bob. Sid's here now. Yeah, he said, man, want the job done right, you got to do it yourself. And he got this like sniper rifle. And this is the part where the movie starts kind of like, okay, it kind of starts getting a little mid. Eddie shoots Bob. And Officer Rebecca pulls up. Remember her? Yeah, me neither. But she's working with Sid and them. That is so stupid. That is... Rebecca is the most pointless character in this movie. She's like, haha, I betrayed you, Bob. But there's no payoff. But later, when they get to the cave, she ends up leaving because she doesn't want to deal with that. What's the point of you coming? What? But Sid is like, I cannot leave without that cocaine. Otherwise, my dealers, they're going to come from me. They're going to come from you. They're going to come from my family. And I'm not letting that happen. So I'm getting every ounce of cocaine, every penny's worth. And I'm like, every penny's worth? The bear ate most of it. You're so, let me just make sure. Alive, dead. Dead. Oh yeah, if I didn't mention, Bob dies. Dead. Okay. So, Sorry and Henry find Olaf from the beginning. Yeah, he survived, and he's still in this woods crying over Elsa. Olaf knows where Dee Dee is, so he leads them to the cave where Dee Dee is, and they reunite. And then Olaf gets ripped apart by the bear. Sorry, Dee Dee and Henry are trying to get out of this cave. Did I mention that the Cocaine Bear's cubs are in this cave doing coke? A lot of it. And I'm like, how are these little cubs not ODing? Whatever. Goofy movie. Don't expect this to be realistic. But they end up going to a different part of the cave, which is the waterfall that they wanted to paint. And here comes Sid and crew. They end up putting some of the cocaine that the little cubs were munching on in the duffel bag, and goes to where Sari and everybody are on the other side of the waterfall. This is the part where Officer Rebecca is like, pointless character. But Sid sees this like hanging bag of coke, and he's like, someone better get that or I'm gonna start shooting. Cubs end up attacking Sid because he has the coke and he wants it. They want that coke. They're like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Sid ends up throwing a brick to them and they fight over it. It's so funny. But Sid was over there hitting them before he threw the brick, and it alerted the cocaine bear. Sorry, Dee Dee and Henry end up jumping off of the waterfall into the water, which smart move. Eddie and Devine go to do the same thing, but Sid shoots and it grazes Devine's neck, which I thought it hit him in the neck, but no, grazed it. So now Eddie and Devine are in the water with Sid, Dee Dee, and Henry. And they're safe. Sid's screwed. He tries to get this bag of coke, and he's hanging there like a piñata. And the strap ends up getting around his neck, and the cocaine bear just like swipes at him, and his intestines just rip out. But before that happened, tell me why I thought the cocaine bear died. Sid pushes her off the cliff, and it sounds like she broke her back, but gets revived by coke. Oh, but Sid's dead. Sari's a nurse, so she can tend to Devine's wound that's on his neck. So instead of there being 11 deaths, because I thought Devine died, there were only 10. Officer Rebecca gives them Bob's dog, which I didn't even mention. It's so pointless. It's this little goofy looking white dog. She's over there walking. It is so goofy, bro. But Eddie and Devine take the dog and they end up dipping. Eddie gets to see his kid, and Devine gets his severed fingers eaten by the dog. Sorry, Dee Dee and Henry end up going home, seeing what happened to Officer Liz. And then the movie ends with the cocaine bear and her two cubs finna maul these two people who are just observing. I guarantee they got a stock full of cocaine. Oh, God. Okay. It's tier list time. So, my anticipation for this movie, the hype of this movie, me constantly watching the trailer for this movie. Oh my God. This was going to be my first S tier movie, and it was going to be up here, and I didn't care what nobody said because this is my tier list. It was going to be up here. It was probably going to be low, like maybe the 10th movie on there, but it was going to be an S. But that end part is a little bit grueling to get through. When he starts to take lead, it starts getting a little bit boring. When they start to not heavily focus on the cocaine bear mauling people, takes the fun out of the movie. Rebecca is one of the most useless characters I've ever seen in a horror movie. I don't even know what the point of her betrayal was or what the point of her being there was, but yep. So if Sid wasn't such a grueling character and Rebecca wasn't so pointless, oh yeah, I would have had fun with this movie because this movie is really gory. It's funny and just very entertaining. But I think I gotta bump it down to at least the top of A. I don't know. If we don't have any like good movies, I may bump it up to S, but for now it's gonna sit in A. Right there. Alrighty, that's going to do it for this time. We haven't had any S-tier movies. I thought Cocaine Bear was going to be the first S-tier, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is right around the corner. Not right around the corner. It's like 3 months away, but I guarantee that that's probably going to be up there in S if they don't kill Rocket. That is all for this time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a comment below because I would love to talk to you guys about this movie. Hope you guys are having a good morning, evening, or night whenever you're watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.